All right, I think we are live today. Hey, everybody, welcome back to SmartTake, the #1 monthly series for learning the most essential HubSpot product updates. I'm Paul Schmidt, marketing lead here at SmartBug, and if you only have 30 minutes a month to stay on top of HubSpot updates, you are in the right place. Did you know this last month, HubSpot released, I think it was close to 100 updates. That's wild. That's so many updates each month to stay on top of. So our goal here is to distill down the 5 most impactful product updates each month, so you can tell your boss what changes you're going to make to help that you're going to make to help drive more revenue or advance your organization on HubSpot. And so, joining me again this month, Brian Wettach, HubSpot Strategic Partner Development Manager, and we also have Nikki Kamal, SmartBug's Director of Marketing, who's going to be on the chat and will be surfacing questions as you all are submitting those today. Welcome, Brian. Thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, thanks, Paul. Glad to be back. And I love doing this exercise because it helps me, even as a HubSpotter, keep up with all of the product updates that our product team is launching out every month. It's pretty incredible the rate at which HubSpot delivers updates. And I think the best thing for us in this room to really think about and for you and I to go back to every month is what are the betas that folks should be aware of? And what are the new product updates that are showing up in their portals so you're not surprised? And is there anything you can learn? I think there's a couple things here today that you can go into your product updates tool and try and turn on and really be on the cutting edge. So thanks for giving me the opportunity to share. And I love joining you on these.
Awesome. Let's dive in. So how format is it going to go today? We'll talk through the update. We'll talk about which hubs that this update is within. And then if you have any questions, please do submit those within the chat. We'd love to answer some of those while we're live today. So let's jump into #1, scoring updates. Lead scoring is not a new thing inside of HubSpot. Lead scoring has been around for many years, but here's some of the 2 new updates that are really going to help those on Marketing and Service Hub. So first off, for those of you on Marketing Hub Professional, we have a lot of clients that are working in Marketing Hub Professional. You now have access to combine scoring. So this previously enterprise only level feature, and what this new functionality allows you to do is combine both contact and company specific signals and put that into a single score. And so long, over the years in working with clients, I've had to have different kinds of scores. You've got a company score, you've got a contact score, and then it's, you really haven't had this single distilled down like hybrid type of score. And so this new product update just gives those in Marketing Hub Professional that functionality. You can create one score instead of having your sales team have to look at 3 different scores and do some sort of algebra to figure out what is the quality of a lead. So this is a really exciting update. The other update related to scoring this month is this Health Score Builder. This is live in both Service Hub Pro and Enterprise. And what this is essentially allows you to build a score for your existing clients or existing customers. As when we look over the course of the last 5 years, something that we're seeing so much more commonly with organizations is just more investment into customer success. And, if you think about like how we're going to retain our clients or cross-sell ups our clients, you need some abilities, some sort of signals to understand like how well is that client doing with us today? How is that customer doing? Are they getting the most value out of what we're providing to them? And so Health Score Builder, this is live. Great. This, if you're on a customer success team or if you work with your customer success team, introduce this to them, help them get this set up, start with a few different filters inside of here to get that configured. And this is all in Service Hub today. So let's jump to #2. Brian's going to take us through Breeze and AI features next.
Super. I think just on that health score bit, I'm going to jump into the AI in a second. I just think I've worked on the sales side of HubSpot previously for many years. And one of the biggest things that we've always heard is it's many times harder to go and generate a net new customer than it is to keep existing customers. And the insights that you need in order to keep existing customers are they happy? Are they performing well? Are their metrics looking right? And it's hard to do that at scale across a whole organization. So Health Score Builder, I think, helps businesses be really able to operationalize that notion of let's take care of our current customer base because that's going to be the strongest thing to help us grow and expand even revenue within existing clients. So I think the big thing here is if you're on marketing, let's say, health score builder is really important for you so that the pressure is not on you to generate all these new leads to fill the pipeline. And if you're in success, the ability to be able to see that at scale is really essential. And if you're in sales, making sure that those customers that you've closed are happy and you can see that at scale is another reason why it really impacts you. So I think all departments in that customer facing team group of marketing, sales, and service are actually positively impacted by leveraging the customer health scores and really understanding the lifeblood of the business, which is existing customers. I don't know, just wanted to put my 2 cents on that. So thanks, Paul.
Yeah, no, that's great, and I would just add to that. I think you made a great point in like the other how other departments can really benefit from this, like customer marketing, for example. Like customer marketing, this should be on the top of their dashboard and looking at that score over time. So I think they also have a lot of behind this as well that they should be paying attention to.
Yeah. We've had surveys forever, right? NPS survey,
Hmm.
but that goes out periodically and it's not based on kind of ongoing health metrics that if you have a sell a SaaS product, you have product usage, you can pop that in there. There's a ton that you can do to understand the health of a business. Diving into Breeze and some AI features here, there are two pretty impactful updates that dovetail off of last month, but one that's really relevant and really impactful that I love at the start. It's all about Breeze intelligence and data enrichment and how businesses can be leveraging better data based on existing data, how you can be accessing new target accounts and insights about businesses that could be good fits for your services based on customers who are already good fits for your services. So HubSpot has launched into beta AI lookalike lists. This is for marketing enterprise only, which is an awesome feature that you have if you have marketing enterprise, and honestly, a pretty legitimate reason to upgrade to be able to, for folks who have done ad targeting, you get this already, but this is building contacts and company records into your database based on your top customers today. So what you do is you feed in an existing list of your highest lifetime value customers, your highest satisfaction customers from your NPS or your health score data. And HubSpot is going to go and use Breeze Intelligence to search for businesses that look similar to your best customers. Add those to your database and enrich those with the data that you need in order to go out and engage with these folks. So I'll give you a quick look at where this comes from, just in a light demo, just to give you a sense for how this starts so you know where to go in your report. All right. So first and foremost, I think something worth mentioning that we've teased in the past, but some of this functionality that we're talking about is in public beta. So in order to access that, you go into your portal, into product updates, and then over into the beta section. So I did a quick search for AI lookalike lists. I can read about what this is all about and I can join beta. So a quick review for those who maybe aren't as familiar with monitoring this product update section. That's what we're here for. Once you've turned that on, you go to your lists tool and you go and hit create a list. Now you could create a contact, a company, deal. You're probably familiar with this if you use lists. Now you have lookalike lists. Lookalike lists will build off of a seed list that you should create based on your highest lifetime value customers, satisfaction, etc. You can choose a specific target size. So if you want more contacts, you might get less tight matches. If you want the tightest matches, you go for a smaller number of contacts in your target list. You can refine that list to make sure that you're removing existing customers, right? So if people who aren't in your highest value are existing customers, you can actually make sure, okay, we don't want to include existing customers. We already know who those are, and then hit go. And it will give you pop out a list of similar customers. It'll give you a rating on similarity. I'm not going to go through the full demo, but just wanted to show you where this comes from and give you a chance to see what that interface is and how to access it. Uh, I'm excited about this functionality, and I think this is probably the most approachable and quick time to value that you can do as a marketer with marketing enterprise.
Awesome. Yeah, and I would add to that too that the AI lookalike list can also pull lists of contacts in your companies in your own database. So that way you're really looking at pulling out lists of people that you're already in touch with, or maybe you're not in touch with, but they look similar to who are your ideal customers. So yeah, great functionality here. I think we're going to see a lot more of this type of functionality this year with all the different Clearbit integration type of stuff and all of that. I think there's a lot of potential with this type of tooling.
So The next here is buyer intent. So something we talked about, I think last week or maybe the week before, is breeze intelligence features are pulling off of not only first party data, but third party data. But one of the biggest things within first party data, and we've known this through the prospects tool, if you've been around HubSpot for a while, once you put the tracking code on your website, you can understand the behavior of folks, even if they're unknown contacts. So with buyer intent, we want to be able to understand those folks who are now in your database, or you use enrichment in order to pull into your database, and what their intent has been prior to turning on the tool. And so when you turn on buyer intent, it's now monitoring based on the criteria, and then we'll add people into your saved views and into your lists based on behavior that triggers a particular event or qualification. And then you can use the addition of them to those lists in order to send a notification to a sales team, in order to add them to a workflow. But now we can actually backfill and understand, all right, of the behaviors that these companies, these contacts have taken prior, let's make sure we're qualifying them effectively and adding and keeping that list up to date. So I think it's just a quick add to the buyer intent functionality, but underlies the greater point around HubSpot moving into this space of data, and how HubSpot can be a really strong data provider in a world where AI is only as good as the data you're providing it. AI can also enrich data and bring it into your database, and help you to have better, more targeted outreach, and not just be fishing in the big blue ocean, but actually be able to tailor your outreach and content to folks who it will resonate with. Just want to double click on that point. Even if this is just a pretty simple feature, I think it's worth highlighting that this is a theme that we're going to see even more about, and businesses are chopping at the bit for.
Yeah, and I would say almost all the features that we're talking about today. I think our sales team probably got most excited about this buyer intent functionality as it started to roll out, and being able to see the companies that are visiting your website today, that are visiting your really high commercial intent pages today. And I think this type of functionality is just so useful, especially for maybe organizations that don't have a ton of leads that are coming in, and they need to maybe take a little bit more of an outbound approach, or they need to identify like who they can go after based on who's already paying attention. Awesome. Let's jump into easy, fast, unified workspaces. So the update this month is in Service Hub, and what we're talking about today is embedded dashboards in customer success workspace. And so I'm just going to switch over to a quick demo of this inside of HubSpot. And so what you'll see inside of here, inside the customer success workspace, is there's going to be a new tab here called dashboards. The customer success workspace, which is similar to the sales workspace, is the one-stop shop for where your either CS or customer support folks should live, or your salespeople should live within the sales workspace. And so these workspaces have really advanced over the course of this last year. And when you're thinking about onboarding your team, new team members into HubSpot, really you should think about setting them up for success within these workspaces. I think one of the biggest challenges that we see with customers that are coming onto HubSpot, or existing customers that are onboarding new employees, is they don't really know where to send their new employee or person that they're onboarding. HubSpot has dozens and dozens of apps inside of it. And I think to set someone up for success, you really want to have all this information channeled into one place. And that's what these workspaces are all about. So there's a customer success workspace. That's where your CS people should live. There's a sales workspace. That's where your salespeople should live. And so the new functionality, the new update this month, is a new dashboard functionality. It's just rolling out in live state very soon. And this essentially is going to allow you to add dashboarding into your workspaces. And so I really love this functionality. Makes it easier, makes it so your CS or salespeople aren't jumping around from place to place inside of HubSpot. They can just go to that one place, see all their reporting. Then they can see all of their either tickets, or if they're in sales, they can see all their leads and deals. And so I think that's a great new update, good usability update. Just make things a little simpler for you to use inside of HubSpot.
I think, to double click, Paul, one of the challenges that I've found in terms of usability of other tools, other CRMs I've used in the past, is the requirement to have multiple different tabs open at the same time. And some of us have experienced this even with HubSpot, have tons of different tabs open, have to do 17 clicks in order to navigate to the important information. And frankly, I've even used a notebook to write down my priority lists for the day and try and remember what are the things that I should be focused on. What you can do as an admin by building effective dashboarding into that workspace is limit that multi-clicks, be able to provide the key information and guide a new person, or a person who's been in the business a long time, through the ideal process flow of their day, the prioritization of their tasks, and areas that the business needs to focus on. So I think putting that front and center makes it super easy to use HubSpot. You can navigate around quite quickly, and it unifies all your data in one spot. So that really goes back to the themes that HubSpot's been echoing for the past year.
Great. Brian, I think you're going to take us next through data quality and integrity. What updates do we have for this month?
Absolutely. So I think I said this right before. AI is only as good as the data that powers it. So Operations Hub has been this data center for quite a while. And that managing duplicates is, and this is a small update, I think it's pretty impactful for folks who do this manually on a daily basis. But even zooming out, data integrity is essential for the future of business, for decision making, for the ability to trust business metrics, for your team's ability to trust you if you're building dashboards, or for you to be able to trust what's in the CRM. And duplicates are like an age old, pretty common challenge in this space. The time consumption that it takes to review and click through duplicates that are surfaced for you and recommended is actually a pain in the butt. I'll just go ahead and say it, right? Like you're like, shouldn't the system know? Yeah, it does. It does know. So if there's high confidence matches that matches on all the same fields, you can turn on auto merge now, so that will reduce your manual workload dramatically just by letting HubSpot go ahead and understand, hey, these look like they should be matched. Instead of surface it to you, it'll just do it for you. You'll still have an audit log of what the duplicate merge has done. So you can go back and review. And I think this is just an awesome underscore to cleanliness of data really being first and foremost, like a big priority for businesses and really for HubSpot.
Yeah, and I would add to this, there's a lot of data quality tools out there, a lot of third-party tools. Some are like really embedded in the HubSpot ecosystem, or there's many other ones that are just third-party like data cleanup tools. And I think that in the effort to not have 15, 20 different tools in your tech stack, having this kind of functionality already baked in, I think it just makes it more intuitive for the user. Everything's right inside of HubSpot versus having to, again, jump to another tool to like do your cleanup and then come back into HubSpot. So love this update.
This is something that piqued my interest, and I just want to talk through. Some folks don't use the HubSpot mobile app, but maybe should. Some folks use it heavily. The HubSpot mobile app for iOS and Android brings HubSpot into the palm of your hand, out in the field. If you're at an in-person trade show, if you have in the field reps, if you're traveling and you don't have your laptop to be able to pull up the desktop version, the mobile app is fantastic. And I think for me, even as a HubSpotter, I was kind of frustrated with the mobile app probably a few years ago. It gave me a couple things, but it didn't give me everything. Mobile app really gives you a ton now. One of the things about the mobile app becoming easy to use is that bad data can get entered because it's so quick and easy from your phone. And there were certain pieces of functionality that weren't present. Bad data could get entered. Okay. So for folks who use this heavily, you can set up conditional properties and required associations for the generation of new records while someone's on their mobile app or in the field. Back to this point of data integrity and confidence and trust. If the mobile app and that intake avenue has been giving you trouble, this is going to be an awesome update that mirrors functionality that you've had in the desktop app for when you go and create a record. You want to say, hey, we don't want ghost records just flailing out there. We want to make sure that we have core intake information and required associations. So I like it. It goes all the way down to free, right? It's just setting up required fields and automatic associations. Anyone can use this at any different level of HubSpot. And if you haven't checked out the mobile app, here's a quick plug to go download it on your iOS or Android, because I've been surprised at how great it's become.
Yep, that's right. And you're going to hear a lot more about data quality and data integrity on the SmartTake series over the next few months. You're going to hear us talking a lot about that. It's so important, especially as we think about just, for great AI output, you need great data quality and good inputs. And so number 5, all right, we're already here. UX improvements, record cloning. So this one is all hubs. It's all the way down to free. And what this is a really great addition. So basic record cloning. It may seem like a basic update, but this is a functionality that we've heard requested for a long time from customers. And really, what this is about is that if you have deals or tickets or different custom objects, and you need to clone that for, let's say you've got a deal that you've built out that has many different properties that you've updated and customized, and you need to then create that deal again, you can now clone it. And historically, you'd have to go create a new deal, or you'd have to buy a third-party app again to like do this type of functionality that you would think that would just be natively inside HubSpot. And now it is. So now I think the main use cases for record cloning, one I just talked about in terms of cloning deals. Other one is like cloning tickets. So tickets, sometimes you see a ticket come in to Service Hub, and maybe someone is actually bringing up two different issues to you. And so when we think about cloning, one thing you could do is just clone the ticket itself, and then you can actually it's sort of splitting the ticket in some ways. So that way you're solving for two different problems if a client brings you both of those in the same thing. So I like that functionality for Service Hub. And then custom objects. I mean, the world is your oyster here. Like there's so many different ways that the custom objects can be used. And when you think about being able to just like clone that for another use case, I think there's there's a lot of different ways that we're going to see companies being able to use that in cloning. So those are the big ones for today. I think we have hit the end. Brian, did you have anything on record cloning that I didn't bring up today?
No, I love that. I love that split the ticket. I think that makes a ton of sense. And some folks have done deal cloning for recurring services, that type of thing. And I think that it's a bit, again, basic functionality that makes HubSpot even more easy to use and solves for some of those edge use cases that folks have had to go down a rabbit hole in order to find a third party for. HubSpot's bringing that to the fore here. So I appreciate the highlight. And again, the chance to talk through these and really distill for folks kind of the key five that we're highlighting ourselves. If folks see updates that you think are really relevant that you'd like to see us dive into and highlight, I think that's one call out. We'll send out some communication after this with the recordings and some follow-up materials that go a little bit deeper into a couple of these items. But if you see things that come up over the next month that you want to see us tackle in August, we're ears.
Awesome, Brian. Yeah, so thanks for joining today. So just some here. So if you signed up for today, there's no need to sign up again. You're already signed up for the future series. So you'll see those invites come through, those reminders come through to join us for next month. We'll also send up some follow-up materials as it relates to lookalike lists, and we'll send you a little bit of demo from one of our recent Fast Forward webinars where we really talk through some of our Marketing Hub updates. So we'll send that out. And so I think that is about everything for today. I hope you join us next month in August. We're getting closer to inbound. I'm so excited. I can't wait to share some of those updates pretty soon, but not quite yet. And thanks to everybody for joining today. We will send you out the recording after this, and we hope to see you next month. Thanks again, Brian. Thanks, Nikki. We'll see you all soon.
Thank you for watching.